right to quality healthcare and quality education are among the basic children rights here in Kenya. Unfortunately, many children at Wehoya village in Transnzoia County can't access quality education and even basic healthcare due to the high poverty index and deaths of their parents, leaving tens of children orphans.
My husband died, and barely after a year my second-born died. He left 2 kids. My third-born also died after a period of time, leaving 4 children. My other son also died, leaving 4 children. In total, I was left with 10 orphans. My last son died together with a wife, leaving his children with me. My daughter died, leaving 5 children behind. The child under Casa Upendo care was only 2 months old.
With the vision to offer love, hope and resilience to orphans and vulnerable children, and the mission to strengthen the capacity of households living with orphans and vulnerable children in Transnzoia County, Sarah Namkoa, a psychologist, together with other volunteers, established Casa Upendo, a house of love, in 2018.
We also keep certificate of death of the parent.
After all legal procedures, Casa Upendo came into existence, starting its community support at Wehoya rural slums in Transnzoia County.
We were on a safari here in the country and we met children who are suffering. We had already checked at the county office and at the chief office, and we saw that there are so many orphans in this region. Actually, the county records show over 1,000 orphans.
Being a rural slum, many children stay with their grandmothers in abject poverty, many banking on well-wishers to help them a meal for the family. This has resulted to many kids dropping out of school.
It was hard. No clothing, no food for the children. My husband had also died. It was painful that I was left alone with no one to turn to. I asked God many questions too. My grandchildren had a difficult life. My neighbors at times will give us foodstuff. I would walk with my grandchild and people will give me porridge that I could prepare for him. I thank God Emmanuel is all grown now.
I asked one child, what have you had? It was around 2 p.m. What have you had for lunch? And the child told me nothing. I asked her, what did you have for breakfast? And the child told me nothing. And I asked her, when did you have food? The child told me they had food the previous day in the morning. And another child said that we have food when grandmother gets food.
Casa Upendo takes into the program total orphans with no one to take care of, just to save a life and give it a hope and a future.
Casa Upendo team passed in the neighborhood, and when they asked my neighbor, she pointed at my homestead and told them, I have plenty of orphans.
I
heard about Casa Upendo that they were helping orphans, and I'm glad they took Emmanuel in after I talked to them. They called me and I explained about my state, and they took my grandchildren.
So from 1 child to 10 children to 14 children to 21 children, and right now we are having 27 children, all total orphans. These are children who get lost in child prostitution, they get lost in child and slavery, and child trafficking. Some become victims of rape, and these are the children that we are really rescuing into the program because we evaluate the vulnerabilities. There's a family actually that even doesn't have a grandmother or a grandfather because the parents died and the grandmother and the grandfather had died. So we just found children living alone in their home with graves there showing evidence of loss of their parents. And you can imagine a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old living in a home alone. Children are forced to be parents. That shouldn't happen. These children need support. These children need to be children, need care. And that's why we are here to provide that support.
Casa Upendo has achieved most of its objectives, including restoring the health of the children they took in while unhealthy, ensuring they get quality education, and helping them on behavior change.
I'm here visiting our children. This school has 20 of our children, and I'm just so excited to be here to check on them and see how they're doing.
And we are very grateful because we have some pupils who are being sponsored by Casa Upendo and are doing very well. And Casa Upendo has been supporting us. They have been supporting them on time with all the needs that they require, both spiritually and academically.
So may I take this opportunity to congratulate the Casa Upendo project for the good work they have done.
Those that have been helped are indeed enjoying, and above all, they've been able to get love. Love that there's a place they call home, there's somebody they can refer to when they have a problem, and indeed, it's helping.
The youngest around 6 years old, the oldest that goes here around 13 years old. And for the 4 years that we have been caring for the orphans, this school has given our children good education and good support.
My grandchildren are doing great with good manners. They are smart and very healthy. They have changed. See the beddings. I'm so happy. I know that God loves me.
And we are proud to see that upward trajectory in terms of lives being changed by the program being here.
Sarah Namkoa, with the dedicated team at Casa Upendo, are passionate about the program and would stop at nothing.
Maisha ilikuwako ngumu wakati wa kwanza.
Life was a bit hard at the start, but now it's better and I love taking care of these kids at Casa Upendo. I sacrificed myself because I love children so much.
Kwa ajili napenda watoto.
It's not easy at all to do this, but we are so passionate. I'm actually passionate about taking care of the orphans and the vulnerable children. There are challenges, of course. Resources will be always a challenge. But on the other hand, I'm thankful that Casa Upendo Orphanage is helping and is here changing lives.
Casa Upendo has various sustainable projects that supplement on a number of basic requirements for the children welfare and upkeep. The project needs to be leveraged, and more partners are encouraged to come on board and support the various sustainable programs at Casa Upendo Center.
Well, this is one of our sustainable projects, the chicken project, and we started this as a way of sustaining our orphanage, and it's still making baby steps. This is not the only project that we have. We have the goats, and we're also having a garden that helps to supply vegetables, and we're also having the fish pond. We got a breed of the monosex fish, 3,000 fingerlings, baby fish, and it's now like 6 months there. We are waiting for like 4 more months or 5 more months, and then we shall call experts to check whether the fish is ready. These ponds were made by the children. Thank you, kiddos. They really worked hard to make this because of an agriculture project they had in school, and they learned how to make it, and so we worked on it. When we harvest this fish, we are looking forward to using this fish to supplement the nutrition of our children, and if we shall have any surplus, we are going to sell it, because this is one of our sustainability projects. We are also having the vegetables. We are having, at the moment, we are having kales and spinach, and we're also having onions. We are looking forward to planting tomatoes. Please continue supporting us so that we may make the orphanage self-sustainable, and that's now what we call sustainability, when we are spending less on supplies, and we are getting our supplies from the orphanage itself.
Casa Upendo looks forward to be able to offer both quality education and healthcare right from the Casa Upendo Center in the near future, if people of goodwill will come on board and lend a hand.
We are having a big challenge with healthcare. Our children get sick. There is no hospital in this region. It's really terrible to handle emergencies, even just simple emergencies. So going forward, it's my prayer that we can have a healthcare center here at Casa Upendo to take care of not just the orphans in this program, but all the community children, because people are hurting in this community. I would say that knowing the need of education and knowing that we can do more, if we would get partners to build our own school, then the school will serve more children. I'm calling on people with good hearts to get involved and help us make our sustainability projects take shape and be able to sustain the project. And I'm calling in for more supporters to get involved and support the children and be a part of Casa Upendo.
I'm praising Casa Upendo. May they keep on with their good deeds, and for this project to grow to take care of our grandchildren. Now I'm good, even if I stay without taking my meal, because I'm so happy. They have helped me so much. This Casa Upendo. When our houses were demolished, where could I have taken Emmanuel?
No one has ever become poor by giving. Casa Upendo, changing lives.